Oh, happy Monday morning. It's about a quarter till 8 a.m. West Coast time. Getting a little bit of a slow start today. But I was just flipping around watching some news and I saw the video again of. So last week, ICE, CBP, they started enforcement operations in New Orleans and in the areas surrounding New Orleans. And there's a video going around of a young woman, I think she's 22 years old, born and raised in New Orleans. She's a U.S. citizen, born on U.S. soil in the United States. She was walking home from a market nearby, and two SUVs full of masked ICE agents came up alongside her. The agents jumped out, started chasing her down the street until she ran inside her house. Two things about this video. They just saw her walking down the street. They saw her, and she appeared to look or appear to be of Hispanic or Latino heritage. And so they absolutely are engaging in just blatant racial profiling. I'll come back to that in a second. The second thing that I observed is once she crossed over that line from sidewalk to driveway, the agent stopped at that line. And there was another story over the last few days. I don't remember where it was, but a significant number of ICE agents came to this guy's home and lured him out of his house by saying, hey man, we accidentally hit your car, wanted to talk to him about insurance or something. So he came outside and they tackled him and they arrested him. So those two things combined tells me that despite all of their illegality, somebody appears to have sat these guys down and said, you can't keep busting into people's houses without warrants. You can't enter their property without a warrant. You can't just go into their yard, kick in their fucking door without a warrant. And so I guess that's a small improvement, I guess. But it's like, who gives a shit when not only are they engaged in just blatant racial profiling. I mean, I've seen reports out of New Orleans that they're just driving up and down the streets. They're just driving up and down the streets looking for people who appear to be Hispanic or Latino. Whether they're people, working in yards or doing landscaping. Their favorite thing is to raid car washes. They're just driving up and down the streets looking for people who appear to be from south of the border. And that is, up until a couple of months ago, that was blatantly illegal racial profiling. Under the Fourth Amendment, against unreasonable search and seizure, and under the 14th Amendment, equal protection of the laws. Until this current conservative Supreme Court carved out an exception to the Fourth and Fourteenth Amendments to the Bill of Rights to the Constitution for people in the United States who look like they might be Hispanic. And they came up with a couple things, if they're speaking Spanish or if they're congregating in areas where other undocumented immigrants congregate, like Home Depot parking lots. It's a totality of the circumstances, I think, is what Brett Kavanaugh said. And since I raised his name, I don't want to miss the opportunity to say, fuck Brett Kavanaugh. On the shadow docket, without oral argument, without full briefing, without amicus briefs, without any of their normal procedure, this current conservative lineup on the United States Supreme Court carved out exceptions to constitutional rights under the Fourth and Fourteenth Amendments if you look like you're Hispanic. There are 60 million Hispanic people in the United States. 50 million of those people are United States citizens. So this current conservative Supreme Court legalized racial profiling against 50 million United States citizens. And they did it on the shadow docket. This court is lawless. It is absolutely lawless. And it is fully on board with the Trump regime's plan of remigration, a word that the Department of Homeland Security has tweeted out several times. And remigration is nothing more than explicit fucking ethnic cleansing of the United States. It is ethnic cleansing. And this court just legalized it. And it's painfully obvious from these videos what these ICE agents are doing. They're just driving through neighborhoods looking for brown people. And when they see a brown person, they take them. They take them. ProPublica recently in an article said that they've discovered at least 175 instances where U.S. citizens have been abducted by ICE agents, despite being United States citizens. It happened to a military veteran out here in California who was held naked in a concrete cell in cold, in solitary confinement for 48 hours over a weekend until they figured out that he wasn't lying, that he's actually a citizen, and he's a United States military veteran. There are countless examples of this. There are countless examples of this. I mean, it's becoming more and more difficult to say that we are a nation of laws or that the rule of law actually still exists here in the United States. Because this Supreme Court is carving out caveats. Yes, the rule of law exists. Racial profiling is illegal unless you're brown. Even if you're a United States citizen, unless you're brown, we're going to let them do that. And that was in a case that specifically addressed ICE tactics in Los Angeles County, but ICE agents themselves have clearly nationalized the holding in that shadow docket case. I mean, they didn't even fucking hold oral argument on it, man. Before carving out an exception to the Bill of Rights for brown people in the United States, 50 million of whom are United States citizens. It's unreal. It is unreal.